Here is how to have a better social circle than 99% of people, which is actually not that difficult because the bar is set so low. Like we as a society suck at making connections, and even that word connections, like use that word because it's on the top of my mind, but you should use the word friendships, not connections. We think about making connections like, oh, I'm going to go to this networking event and make connections with all these people. I'm going to hand out business cards and, hey, I've made a connection. And guess what happens with that connection? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, because it's just something purely transactional. It's like, oh, the more people that I know, the more like my network is my net worth. So, which is true, by the way, but people misunderstand it because they're looking at these super shallow connections. What you want, if you want a network, so to speak, that truly works for you, you want to have people that you actually know, like, and trust, that you actually have a deeper connection. And so what I've found is that you just dispense with this idea of networking, dispense with this idea of making connections completely, and instead you focus on building true friendships, like actually knowing people and want is meeting people that you actually want to hang out with. Now, like I said, we're so bad at this. We all kind of do it by default when we're kids, and then someone in college. But after that, then like we have no idea what to do. It's just these people that are around us just by chance. Those happen to be those are the people that end up being our friends. And then from then on, we have no idea what to do. Like adults don't know how to make friends. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. So point number one is you want to be very intentional about who you choose to be your friend. Now, most people suck at this even early in life because we're not even thinking about it early in life, right? When you're in high school, when you're in college, it's just whoever happens to be around, that's the person that ends up being your friend. And you got to realize that who you choose as friends is a massive component to how your life turns out. Like we all know that you are the sum of the five people that you spend the most time with. Like we all know that iron sharpens iron. These things are cliches because we all know that they're true. And yet, and none of us really, for the most part, have any idea what to do with them. So step one is to just not just blindly accept whoever it is that you happen to be around, that you happen to run into day to day, because the chances are, especially if you're a high performing person, which if you're watching my channel, chances are that you are. Chances are you are already like top 1% or like at least top 5% in something, if not your social life. So you want to make sure that the people around you are the type of person that are going to lift you up. And if you're a top 1% person, then that means that just by definition, the majority of people that you run into day to day are not going to be the kind of people that you ought to be hanging around, right? If you hang around with people that just like get drunk and sit on the couch and eat Doritos and watch football, then you're going to find yourself becoming one of those people. And even if you're not that way, maybe you're highly motivated and highly ambitious, but the more time you spend around people that are all about Doritos and beer and football, the more it's going to like lower your standards, the lazier you're going to find yourself. It's not like a one night to the next thing. It's just this like slow poison drip over time. So be very intentional about who you want. Figure out exactly what are the criteria of the people that you want in your life. So are they in a certain profession? Have they achieved a certain thing? Are they within a certain age group? Are they part of a certain religion? Like, do they believe in XYZ? Do they follow a particular ideology? Do they follow a particular online influencer that you like? You know, just like define the things that are important to you of I want to be around people who are like this. These are the kind of people that are going to bring me up and add to my life and like are going to be a net positive rather than a net drag. And then once you define those people, step two is you find a way to be around those people, find a way to make connections with those people. Obviously, now there's two ways to do this. The first way is, the first way is by going to where those people are and making connections with them there. The second way is through bringing those people to you. Now, if you followed me at all, you know that I'm a big fan of the second way. I like to bring those people to me because it's a lot easier. It takes a lot less of my time, but both ways work, and I'm going to go over both. So the first way is to go to where those people are. And so obviously step one there is just ask, well, okay, well, where do these people hang out? So let's say that I am obsessed with tennis, for example, and I just want to be around people who play tennis. Well, a good place to hang out might be a tennis court, a tennis shop, right? And then you could just meet people that are there. Now, it is a little bit awkward just randomly going up to people on the tennis court saying, "Hi, how are you doing? My name's Chris." So like it's kind of strange, right? So what you can also do is consider like meetup groups online. Go to meetup.com, or you go to like Eventbrite, or go to like Facebook events and find stuff that's related to tennis, and you go there. Now, it may be that you have a little bit of a hard time with finding the kind of people that you want, especially if you want to find people that are out of the ordinary, let's say, especially in terms of like high achievers. Well, there aren't really a lot of meetup groups for high achievers, and those people tend to be a little bit more exclusive, right? They don't want to just advertise their group to the public if they even have one. Now, the truth is that most high achievers don't have a group at all. And they're just like you and just like me. When I've kind of this surfaced in my mind that I realized what a problem this was, because there's this big like hustle culture where everybody's, have you heard this term monk mode? Everybody's in monk mode. They like isolate themselves in their office and just work 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, and like that's it. And then they build their empire and they build their online business and like, yeah, I've succeeded. The problem is there, though, that, yeah, it'll get you to a certain extent, but after a while, you you find that it's kind of empty. It's like you make a bunch of money and then, well, think about it this way, like you buy a nice house with like a big patio, and the realtor tells you that this is a great place for entertaining. Like this patio is perfect for entertaining. Problem is, who do you entertain? Right? Like you don't have any friends. You've been monk mode for the last 3 years. You've like burned all of your relationships from college, which is probably a good thing because those are probably just like beer and football and Doritos people anyway. But you haven't replaced it with anything, and now you don't have any friends, and it's kind of empty. It's like an empty victory. Like, yeah, you got this nice stuff. Maybe you bought a boat, and now, okay, yeah, I got a boat. That's awesome. I'm going to go out on the boat. But like, who are you going to go with? You're just going to go by yourself? I mean, that's fun. I have a boat. I go out by myself on the boat sometimes and have a good time. I like to go out in the boat and shoot videos sometimes, but ultimately, like, it's a lot more fun to have stuff if you have people to share it with, right? So if you are looking for other high achievers, then it's a little bit difficult to find. There's not like a high achiever meetup group, at least not that I know of. That's going to be a little bit difficult. And if you go to events like entrepreneurs meetups and stuff, you're going to find that it's, number one, filled with people that are wannabes. Like the vast majority of people there are not high achievers. They may be high achievers at some point in the future, but they're not there yet. And two, everybody's there for transactional reasons. They're all just looking to network and meet somebody to do deals with. And it's kind of hard to form genuine friendships that way. So the meetup strategy only goes so far. The go into places where people are strategy only goes so far. That said, you can make up for that by having really good cold approach skills. So for example, if you want to meet highly successful people, you can go to a place where only highly successful people are. Like you go to a part of town where only highly successful people live, and then just go to a local coffee shop or something and then strike up conversations with people in the coffee shop. That works, but you have to be good at cold approach, and it's pretty weird for most people. It feels very awkward. It's kind of difficult. I'm a fan of that, actually. Like, I believe in that. I think it's pretty cool, but it's difficult and it's time consuming, and you don't even really know what you're in for because you don't even know like what people are going to be there when you go there. So that's one other approach. And then finally, the approach that I use, that I prefer for myself, that I told you about earlier, is the getting people coming to me approach. Now, the way this works is essentially it's marketing. I'm a marketer by trade. I've been doing marketing for a long time, and I realized that I could use my marketing skills exactly for building my social circle, for actually having friends of the type that I actually desired to hang out with. And what you do with marketing, essentially, and well, my brand of marketing, which is paid advertising, is that you advertise on an online platform where you can you can target the people that you want to target. And so I advertise right now primarily on YouTube. I run YouTube ads, and I can target people that are top 10% income, for example. I can target people that are fans of Tony Robbins, for example. I can target people that are like all these different ways I can target people, so I can come up with a profile of the type of person that I want to hang out with. I can target people by age group, by gender. I can target people who are parents versus not parents, right? So I can profile exactly who it is that I want as friends. I can target them specifically on the ad platforms. And then I write a ad script. That is what I actually say in the ad to, number one, call out the people that I want. So, hey, are you this type of person? So that I'm attracting the right people and repelling the wrong people, because the targeting isn't perfect, right? The targeting is just a general guide. The messaging is where you really hone it in. Like what you say in the ad is where you really hone it in. And so I say, are you this kind of person? If so, then would you, and then I just kind of appeal to them being in the same situation as I was in. I just say, like, are you, tired of being in monk mode all the time, just grinding by yourself? And then when you finally like look up for a moment, you find that you have no friends, and all the money and all the success that you've created for yourself is kind of empty because you don't have anybody to share it with. If so, and so I'm empathizing with the type of person that I want to hang out with. I am showing them why hanging out with me would be valuable to them. And then I tell them what to do. What I tell them is not, hey, do you want to be my friend? Because that sounds stupid. I say, if you're interested, you can join this exclusive group of people in your local area that are this way and this way and this way. And it's free, by the way, which you could probably charge for it if you wanted to. I'd make mine free because I'm not looking to make money off of this. I make my money out in other ways. But you offer them to be a part of an exclusive group, right? Which sounds a whole lot better than, hey, do you want to be my friend? That sounds kind of pathetic. But no, do you want to be a part of an exclusive group? And like a lot of these people, yes, they do want to be a part of this exclusive group. If so, then click the button below, or click the button that's somewhere around this ad video, and fill out a short form on the next page, or a short application on the next page. And if it looks like a fit, then we'll be in touch and we'll get you into the group, essentially. And so they click the ad, or they click the button on the ad, then they go to an application page, which is a form where now I ask them questions to qualify whether or not they meet my criteria of the type of person that I want to hang around with. So I ask them questions like, what have you accomplished that you're proud of? What's your career situation? Like, what are you doing with your life? What made you interested in this ad? Like, what made you interested in wanting to join this group? What is it that you're working on currently that's exciting to you or that's interesting to you? And so from their answers to those things, I get a really good idea of, is this person really the type of person I want to hang out with, or are they not? And if they are the type of person that I want to hang out with, that's when I reach out to them, right? I got their contact information on the application, so I reach out, start a little bit of a conversation, and then if they seem like a good fit and they're interested, then I invite them to some kind of in-person meetup. That could be just like a one-on-one, like a lunch, or it could be a group event. And then I keep up with people by having periodic group events. The way I do group events is essentially, I think, what would be fun for me? Like, what do I want to do? And like have people to do it with. And so I'm like, oh, I feel like going on a camping trip. I feel like going on a boat trip. It's like, okay, I feel like going on a boat trip. So I'm going to schedule a boat trip 2 weeks from now and send a message to everybody in the group and say, hey, we're doing a boat trip. And then voila, now I get to do my boat trip with friends, and not just friends, but the exactly like custom curated group of friends that I've decided are the type of people that I want to hang out with. So it's really like, and it's really easy for me, by the way, because the ads are doing the majority of the work, the ads in the application. So I don't have to go like drive to somewhere and like try to schmooze with people that I don't know and like hope that I find one diamond in the rough out of a bunch of people that like are not of my ideal type. And it works really, really well. And by the way, I offer this as a service. If you would like me to create this for you and make you the leader of your own group, and I'll build it up for you, like I'll do all the marketing. This is a high ticket service, right? I do this mostly for like higher income folks. So if you're interested and this is important to you and you're willing to get it handled and pay to get it handled, in return, it's very, very little effort on your part. You just get like the perfect people coming to you, and you really don't do much except for hang out with them. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description. And if you'd like to learn more about how to have an ideal social circle, then check out the rest of my YouTube videos. There's this one that you might find particularly helpful. And then hit the like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you in the next one.